Hello, I'm Rahul.
Hello, my name is Kalti.
Hi, my name is LD.
Hi, my name is Vi.
Hi, my name is Jelly.
And this is
RVGKE Productions.
Welcome to our Part 4 evaluation.
So we were approached by Film 4 to make our own BSR opening sequence.
In order to uphold the reputation of Film 4, we will be following their generic conventions.
Our theme follows two sisters, Halima, who she's 15 years old, and Soraya, who she's 10 years old. And their struggles of being Muslim and moving from their home country, Somalia, which is in East Africa, to London in the UK. We'll be showing their day-to-day routine through having breakfast and then going out to school. And it will be a week that is after the Paris attacks, the terrorist attacks that happened, and we wanted to show how the British people responded to Muslims in London.
The main two characters of this film is two Somalians who are in the demographic of D to E's the class. The main reason why this is because they are orphans and will most likely go through financial issues.
The way in which we showed this in our film was by having the location of an estate, as this has connotations to this socio-economic class. For example, in the film of Attack the Block, the director's use of having an establishing shot of the estate is effective in showing the audience that the characters and the protagonists are from a low socio-economic class. And the fact that it was filmed quite locally to our area also supports that Halima and Soraya are both from a low socio-economic class.
It conforms to the conventions of a BSR film, which takes around a typical South London estate, showing the circumstances and the backgrounds to the two protagonists in our opening sequence.
We wanted our target audience to be primarily those who are classed from B to C1s on the socioeconomic scale, because we believe that our opening sequence will be a form of escapism for them from their conventional lives.
I feel that with targeting such an audience demographic, we're able to allow them to compare their more fortunate backgrounds with less fortunate backgrounds that are disadvantaged, the lack of resources, and as well as the environment and scenery that is upheld within the opening sequence.
For example, in the film of Attack the Block, the director's use of having an establishing shot of the estate is effective in showing the audience that the characters and the protagonists are from a low socio-economic class. And the fact that it was filmed quite locally to our area also supports that Halima and Soraya are both from a low socio-economic class.
Just call it a day.
Age.
In addition, in the film Wild Bill, the protagonist is taking care of his younger brother, which is similar to our film, where Halima takes care of Soraya. And the director's use of a high angle when the older brother is waking up the younger brother supports the theme of parenthood, which is also seen in our film, and it supports the ideas that are the conventions of a BSR film.
So our age range is between 14 to 19 years, mainly because we have both of our protagonists aged around that kind of age gap. So, for example, Halima is 15 years old in our opening sequence, and the other lead actor, Soraya, is 10. I feel like by having a lead actor such as Soraya at her age, despite the fact that we don't target that particular age range, we're able to get more younger audiences as well to engage and familiarize with the circumstance of the protagonist, Soraya's kind of like situation, how she's innocent and unaware, and maybe familiarize with
Yeah.
Even though Soraya is not actually within, again as LD said, within the age range, we believe that including a child who's of the age of 10 shows that racism and discrimination can still be applied to any age. Yeah.
In the film Wild Bill, both the brothers were around the same age as Halima and Soraya, so we were able to be inspired in the way that they were represented, as the older brother was kind of the carer, which is the same situation that Halima is in our film. And the director's use of a high angle when the older brother is waking up the younger brother. It supports the theme of parenthood, which is also seen in our film, and it supports the ideas that are the conventions of a BSR film.
We use this strategy because it allows us to tell people how the lifestyle of these characters and how other people can sympathize or empathize with what they're going through.
Though Soraya is not within a specified age range target, we believe that it will allow even younger audiences to be compelled to engage with the narrative and performance in order to relate or somewhat sympathize with the character of Soraya.
We believe by including Soraya, who's age 10, into our narrative, even though she doesn't actually fit into the age range of 14 to 19, we still believe that by including a child in our narrative shows that children are still exposed to racial discrimination and prejudice in modern day society.
For our opening sequence, we planned on having our protagonist be a Somalian, so I thought that I was best able to fit this role due to my Somalian background. The main reason why I wanted to have a Somalian character is purely because it's not really seen in many BSR films. So we wanted to challenge and subvert from the typical BSR stereotype, kind of. And so by having a Somalian character, it shows how unique our film really is.
I feel like as well you're, because we chose you as a protagonist and we target this ethnic background, I feel like it also reflects upon the current issues of society, like, you know, what the current matters, you know, based on terrorism and on how Muslim people are seen and, you know, abused, racial profiling, those kind of examples.
There were a few BSR films that inspired us to make Born in Somalia, Dead in England. The first one is Glasgow Girls, which follows a group of immigrants, and one of them is a Somali girl, and she gets bullied by these white bystanders that come up to her and try to pull off a hijab. And in White Girl, it follows a white British girl who moves to a Pakistani area, and she sees Islam and she converts to it later on. And our mother really hates it, and she really struggles. And in Yasmin, we see a Pakistani girl who lives in a white community, and she tries to fit in. She takes off her hijab when she's with her white friends, and when she goes to mosque and her Islamic family, her Muslim family, she takes her hijab off. So it shows that she's trying to mix different worlds together.
In terms of sexuality, for our own opening sequence, we didn't necessarily hone into it to input it into our narrative for Born in Somalia, Dead in England, as we felt that other demographics were more important than sexuality, but we still felt that members of our target audience shouldn't feel excluded from watching our opening sequence just because they're not necessarily at the forefront of our narrative.
There was sexuality shown in Born in Somalia, Dead in England through the dialogue between the bystander and his friend on the phone, who was saying, did you see that person's back, which shows that he's heterosexual, but it also shows that he's stereotypical male dominance over women and how he's aggressive.
So I just want to add to the My Beautiful Laundrette example, whereby it also recognises the bold exploration of race and class as well as generational differences, which is why it explores sexuality.
As for gender, we wanted women, especially who are Muslim, because this is really what, you know, Muslim women have on a daily basis, you know, racism and people saying race is worse to them.
We also felt that with having two female protagonists is unconventional and usual BSR films, so that furthermore makes our own opening sequence more unique than others.
I feel like by focusing on, by targeting a female audience demographic, I think we're also able to kind of realise or make apparent some of the issues around the kind of stereotypical kind of associations with female figures, such as them being weak and oppressed by more male dominant figures, which I mentioned quite earlier before. Yeah.
Also, by having our antagonist be a male, it kind of supports this idea of a patriarchal society, as it shows that male will always be dominated, which conforms to Renaissance conventions.
Furthermore, this shows awareness within society as it still proves that there is sexism in the world.